Welcome back, everybody, to yet another episode of Yeah, No, No, Yeah. We've got a good episode for you today because we are talking about Twin Peaks Season 1 and Twin Peaks Season 2, Episodes 1 through 9. This was Keelan's choice. We watched 17 episodes of Twin Peaks, which there will definitely be more to come in the future. And yeah, it was just one of our best discussions yet. We had a really good time. Keep an eye out for the timestamps in the description if you want to avoid spoilers, as well as the links to any of our social medias and all of that, and the link to the Patreon if you want to help support the podcast. We would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, let's get into it.
Coffee?
Do we all have some damn fine coffee for this episode?
Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck.
That's
fuck.
like
Really, Keelan?
requirement.
Really?
Fuck.
The one person that should have had it
Damn.
doesn't have it.
See, I did it
Wow.
out of respect. It would be like the shitty instant stuff if I had coffee. So
It's almost
I
like
would-
Dale's not literally you.
He is literally me. Shut up. Don't say that.
We're back, finally.
We're
Gosh,
back.
these breaks, our schedules.
These breaks are crazy.
I know, and I hate it. I wish my schedule wasn't so crazy, but like, I work now. It's really gonna be tough because like I work at the university and college is starting back up this week, and now my hours are just all over the place. But I really want to get back into a good schedule with this. I really
We'll
want
try
to.
it.
I've been not bad, I guess. Just very tired right now because it's like 6 a.m. But I've got my coffee. We did the honeymoon thing in Oregon. That was fun. Mostly that's it, really.
Sounds
Married
good enough.
life,
I mean,
huh?
that sounds like look like a good time.
Yeah, married life.
Yeah.
I'm a domesticated husband.
How's that domestic life treating you? Yeah.
I've become an important person in work, and it's ruining my life.
Yeah.
Did you get like a promotion or something?
No, I didn't. Manager left. New manager came in, and he's managing 2 different cinemas. So I'm basically in charge of the one that I run, that I work at, because I'm like, I guess the highest. What would the word be? I want to say
Ranking
but it's not.
officer.
Yeah,
I
the
don't
highest
know.
ranking officer in
Yeah.
the cinema. And yeah, I'm basically doing a lot of shit, and it's a lot, but it's probably going to calm down soon. Schools are opening back up, and we'll probably be closed most of the time, so yay.
I guess jumping into patrons. So, all right, shout out to our patrons. We got Julia moving ___ pictures. Sarah's popcorn chat. Amy at Ardor Film. Luna ___ Pearl. Kevin at All Right So Reviews. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Because I think it was like one of its anniversaries or something. I decided to finally watch Lawrence of Arabia, 1962, 4-hour epic.
God, I gotta see that.
It's an iconic classic for a reason. It was like re-released in theaters, and I really wish I went in theaters, but I actually owned it on Blu-ray and I just never watched it, so I just watched it at home. I had to split it up into like 2 different days though. I did not have the time to sit down for 4 hours straight.
Did you watch the Snyder Cut all in one go?
That was
The
kind of
2
just a
times
whole
you watched
haze. Oh my god, I did watch it twice. Why did I do that? Well, it got better the second time, at least.
Snyder Cut all the way through, and you had to split fucking Lawrence of Arabia up. I can't
I
believe it.
actually had to put Subway Surfers at the bottom of Lawrence Arabia to keep me, like, engaged.
Oh no, that's fair. I was thinking I might have to do that if I ever see it.
I mean, just visually, it's amazing. The main character, Lawrence, I know it's based on a real guy. I don't know how accurate the story is, but, like, I mean, he's just, like, one of the most, like, compelling main protagonists I've seen in a movie in a long time. Like, it's a lot more about the character than it is like the war going on that he's in. And so it's just a really damn good movie, and just like, it's an experience. Lived up to the hype. I gave it 5 stars. It's my first David Lean movie, and I want to check out more. It is a masterpiece. I think it is a masterpiece. So
Who knew?
it literally is like, you got to be in the mood though. Like to me, this is like you got a Sunday off or something, just like throw it on. It's a good summer movie too. Like that's why I wanted to watch it this summer, because it's just you're in the desert like the whole movie, and it's like it just kind of fits that vibe.
I guess adding on to one of my watches in the last episode, I finished Halt and Catch Fire. I watched season 4.
Nice.
Oh.
So fuck me, Jesus Christ, the last season is absolutely perfect. Like I was saying that the first three seasons were like maybe an 8 out of 10, consistently compelling and interesting, but they weren't like reaching that high for me. But that last season, it just does so much with like the character work that has been done so far, and it wraps up every plot thread in like a really fucking satisfying way, in ways that make sense. Like it's not maybe what you'd want out of it, like from the first episode to the last, but like it makes sense for the characters, and it's probably one of the best like final seasons of a show I've seen. I think it's just so perfect and it's just so well done, and it completely elevates the rest of the show. Like in thinking of the show in hindsight with that last season, it just gets better and better in my mind, and like I just can't believe how much this show has grown on me. Like I'm not a big show guy, but my god, I fucking really loved my time at Halt and Catch Fire, and the last season just really solidified it for me. It's probably one of my favorite shows at this point. Not like top 10, but like it's up there. One day I might rewatch it, and it'll probably benefit from knowing what happens going forward.
Would you say it's the best season?
Season 4 is absolutely the best season. It just nails everything. Like it just fucking takes everything that's built up to that point and just runs with it. The characters are all at their best, I think. Maybe like not one, but like that, you know, that ties into the plot more so than anything, so I can't be mad at it. Yeah, no, absolutely the best season, and like I said, it elevates the rest of the show. Last season I'd give it a 10 out of 10. The show as a whole, 9 out of 10. I think it's just fantastic.
Yeah, it is a great show from the season or two that I watched. It's weird that you don't hear many people talking about that show too.
Yeah.
Like, why do not enough people talk about that show?
I listened to Modern Guilt by Beck.
Woo, yes. Good,
Whoa,
great
guys.
album, right?
Whoa. It's up there with the information for me now. Like, kind of,
Yeah.
it's, oh my god. Gamma Ray is such a banger, obviously.
Camera is what introduced me to Beck.
It's slapping.
It was on Guitar Hero 5.
Chemtrails was like making me tear up in the moment, honestly. And like Profanity Prayers is beautiful. Soul of a Man is such a banger. Volcano is gorgeous. All of the lyrics on this album as well, like that's like the strongest part, I think. It's really just lyrically like incredible. I don't know, yeah, this might be like objectively Beck's best album, honestly, from what I've heard so far, but I don't know. I'm still like really in love with the information, so I don't know. As of right now, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. I would probably give it a 10 on re-listen, honestly, because it was just such a good experience the first time.
I decided to rewatch American History X because I haven't seen it since high school. Yeah. And they made us watch it in some high school class, like social issues or something. But yeah, anytime they show us a movie in school, I kind of hate it because then I always associate that movie with school and just that memory. And so like, I really wanted to watch it as an adult, like just because I don't remember much about it. Yeah, it is way better than I remember. Might be my favorite Edward Norton performance, honestly. It's just like an iconic look for him. Like it's such a different character than we're used to seeing him play. And I don't know, the whole cast, the music. This is like one of Tony Kaye's 2 movies, and his other movie Detachment I also love. And he just makes depressing movies though. These 2 movies are just depressing, but
it is very depressing.
Damn. Makes you feel a lot of things. This movie, to me at least. I love the black and white sequences. They're my favorite parts of the movie. They just look amazing. I kind of wish the whole movie was in black and white, but I understand why they didn't do that.
So do I sometimes. I'm like, I feel like it would have maybe benefited a bit more from that.
It really would have. Yeah, it just looked great. I mean, it just, everything about it, I really failed to find anything that I didn't like about it. So I am not afraid to give it a 5 out of 5 on rewatch.
5 out of 5 for me as well.
I went to a film premiere.
Oh.
What?
I went to the Dublin premiere of Kneecap, the new film by Rich Pepiat. It's about the Irish rap group Kneecap and basically about their rise to fame or whatever, but it's fictionalized, obviously, like for entertainment's sake, because the point of the movie really is to examine the Irish language and the place in our it is in our culture, and what we could do to maybe, in terms of Ireland, get people more interested in learning Irish, I suppose. And with Kneecap, they do it by making music, and most of their music is pretty much just Irish lyrics. No, the Kneecap movie, it's a really, really fucking solid comedy. I saw it in a fucking full theater, and I think that is probably the best way to experience it, but like, God knows where the fuck else you're going to find that apart from the fucking premiere, because like, we've had it in our cinema and it hasn't been doing the best. It's been doing decently, but like, kind of wish it was doing better, because I do think, you know, I think more people, especially around here, should see it, because I think it's kind of like an important movie for us right now. Obviously, the main 3 characters are like the 3 people in the Kneecap band. I thought they were all really excellent, especially especially fucking DJ Provi. His performance was like really fucking good, and I was like, wow, this guy's only like a fucking producer. Like he's got acting talent. Like he sold like the dramatic moments well, and he sold the comedic moments really fucking well. There's a really great scene near the beginning where like one of them is being questioned by police, and he refuses to speak English. He's like only speaking Irish, and DJ Provi's like brought in to basically translate the Irish for the police, because you know it takes place in they're from Northern Ireland, but they're very much for Irish unification. So like get the 32 counties back together. They kind of dismiss everything to do with the Queen, which, you know, I'm also of that mindset.
Yeah.
So it's completely plays to people like me, where it's just like, fuck yeah,
Is it
fuck
a good
the English, fuck the Queen.
Is it a good way to learn a language, do you think?
If you watch the movie, you'll get more of an idea of what the Irish language is within our culture right now, because it's pretty much non-existent, and that obviously kind of stems from like 100 years of English rule. I don't speak it fluently. I know I can understand like certain words, and I can like speak a few sentences, but that's about it.
So it was obviously like something that was taught a while ago, but isn't as much
Yeah,
now.
I think the main issue is how it's taught in schools, because it's
Yeah.
it just feels like a way to get into college, I suppose. It's just like a stepping stone there, where it's just like, okay, you have to learn this, you have no other choice but to learn it, and it kind of sucks any like interest out of it for like most of, like, I can only speak from my experience, but like most of my year in school was not interested in learning Irish, especially since like basically a lot of the exam kind of hinged on like looking at a picture and describing each panel in Irish. And it's just like the fucking most idiotic way to learn the language. And I kind of get where they're coming from with it, but like, it's so fucking stupid, because there's like 20 of them, and you have to learn each and every one of them just to fucking perfectly explain like one in like an exam setting. A lot of people are taking more of an interest in the language now, which is great. You know, in the movie they kind of say, oh yeah, Kneecap is kind of helping with this too, which I can see that being like the case, because like when you get like good music and it's from where you're from and it's in your native language, you're like, maybe I should, you know, brush up a little on this. And I've heard of like more people that I know just like actually taking Irish classes, and I think it's really cool, and I almost want to do that as well. But like that is like the focal point of the movie, and I think that is the movie's strongest suit, but it also works like very well as a fucking comedy, because it is really fucking funny. And Michael Fassbender's in it too. He's really great for like the scenes he's in. He speaks Irish in it as well. It's really cool. But yeah, no, it's I'd highly recommend it, especially for people. I'd recommend it for anyone, because like, you know, if you're Irish, you'll get something out of it. If you're from another part of the world, like, you'll learn a bit more about the Irish language, I suppose. And yeah, no, I thought it was really great. I'd give it an 8 out of 10, and going to the premiere was like a really fucking weird experience, because like there was fucking like musicians and like there that like I respect. Like there was like Lankin was there, and fucking I think like the bassist for Fontaines DC was there. It was just like there was like a load of people there.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, why am I here? But there's free alcohol and a free movie, so yay.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
Shit, that's pretty cool.
Get it watched if you can. I think it's really worth a watch.
I went to the theater just the other day and I saw M. Night Shyamalan's new film, Trap.
Yes,
Oh
man.
boy, I'm seeing that
Yes,
tomorrow.
man.
I'm seeing it tomorrow.
Yes.
I have to wait for digital. It's not playing near me.
I'll keep it pretty brief because I don't want to obviously get into it too much because it's a Shyamalan film.
Yeah.
I would say it's just ever so slightly better than Knock at the Cabin, and I gave that like a 7 out of 10. It is a really good movie. It did subvert my expectations quite a lot of the time, actually. Like, I was noticing like a few times where I was like, damn, okay, I didn't expect that. That's what you want from a Shyamalan film, and Josh Hartnett is fucking fantastic in the movie. He's great. I'm not going to say anything, obviously, but I did not really like the final scene. Shyamalan's daughter is in this. Genuinely one of the better parts of it. Like, I thought she was really, really good. Not just as like a singer. Her acting in a lot of scenes was really convincing. So I'm going to go with an 8 out of 10. I'm going to be generous.
Ooh.
I really enjoyed it.
I'm so fucking
Good thriller.
excited for it.
I'm glad to
Good
hear
job,
that.
Shyamalan.
'cause-
He's back.
Yeah. A lot of people have been saying that with like, you'll always get a Shyamalan movie come out, and then people are like,
guess.
Shyamalan's back. It just depends on that
Well,
person,
he's had
I guess.
two
That's what
good
I
ones
said
in
for
a
Knock
row.
at the Cabin. Yeah,
He's had
that's true.
3 good ones in a row.
No, he hasn't had 3 good ones in a row.
He's had
Wait a
3
minute,
good
3?
ones in a row.
He's had 2.
You're talking about old?
He's had 3.
Yeah, I'm not
No.
including old.
Nah, I'm not on the old train either. That shit is.
It's his best movie since Unbreakable. You guys are haters.
Oh
No.
boy. But no, tomorrow then, yeah, we're doing a private staff showing, like when the theater's closed, and we're gonna watch Trap, and I can't wait.
I have one question. You don't have to say much, but you just have to say one word. That's about it. How's the Shyamalan cameo?
It's very cute.
Lovely,
good.
lovely stuff.
That's all you gotta
I
know.
love to hear that.
That's all you gotta know.
Yet again, I don't know why I've just been deciding to watch long, epic movies, like old movies, but I rewatched. For some reason, I decided, yet again, another rewatch. Still the only Tarkovsky movie I've seen, Andrei Rublev, a 1966 3-hour Russian epic drama about a Russian icon painter, like a painter of religious icons. And it's like, I don't know why, like, this is still the only Tarkovsky movie I've seen. I've seen it twice, and it just is so damn good. Like, it's one of the best looking movies I've ever seen. Like, for 1966, just the cinematography is ahead of its time. It's incredible. And like just the mix of suffering, but also like merriment, good and bad. It flows so well, even though it just goes so all over the place. And it's just really, even though it focuses on like this guy, Andrei Rublev, who's like a Russian painter, it's really kind of just a big tapestry of like medieval Russia, a big like city town being raided to like, you know, just all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I mean, if it's yet another movie you really have to be in the mood for, because I would not blame people for watching this and being like, that was boring as hell or something like that. Like I would totally get it. And it's in black and white, which is also hard to sell, you know, for like, because they had color at the time. It didn't have to be in black and white. It's definitely a cinephile's movie, I guess. Like but it's so damn good.
I have to see a Tarkovsky.
Yet another, it's just, I mean, it's kind of hard to pitch people, like I said, it's like 3.5 hours basically.
Oh, what? I always kind of thought of it as one of the shorter ones.
No,
okay.
It's actually long. It's like 3.5 hours. It's black and white. It's from 1960. It's hard to sell, man. Once you get into it, if you like really get immersed into the world, because it really is just about kind of the world of medieval Russia and just like Andrei Tarkovsky just like flexing his director skills, like a perfectly made movie, in my opinion, then like you'll get into it. You know, if just the damn craft of it all, like you'll appreciate it. Yeah, another 5 out of 5. All of my watches have been 5 out of 5s, I guess.
It's the positive episode.
It is.
To keep that train going, I guess, I listened to an album, No Name by Jack White, new Jack White album. Holy fuck! I mean, obviously, I heard of it because of the album rollout, which was very interesting and very cool. I think I told Liam about it when it was happening.
Yeah.
But like a couple of weeks ago, in his record store, Third Man Records, there was a day where like if you went in and bought any record, they would just slip in a copy of the new Jack White album for you, and they'd say nothing. It was unmarked. It was literally just an unmarked album. In the liner notes, because it included the liner notes as well, they encouraged people to just like rip the album and share it around, like share it with 7 friends, they said, which is also ties into the album, which is really cool. As for the album itself, holy fucking shit, it is. Oh, it's so fucking good. I've listened to it, I think 5 or 6 times at this point. It's so brilliant. It goes back to like early White Stripes era, but it kind of mixes in things Jack has learned along the way, I suppose. So it's old style garage rock with, you know, a new style flair, I suppose. And it's just brilliant. I love the songwriting on it. A lot of religious imagery throughout it, which, you know, makes sense because Jack White wanted to become a priest before he was a fucking musician. So there's a lot of religious theming in there. The riffs though, oh my god, some fucking amazing guitar playing on it. I love the production on it. It's very raw, it's very fucking crunchy and crispy, and it's just so fucking brilliant to listen to. Amazing songs in it. I think my favorite is Archbishop Harold Holmes. Old Scratch Blues is a fucking amazing album opener, and it just really gets you into the mood for the rest of the album. It's a very bluesy kind of punk track, and yeah, no, it's fucking amazing. I really, really fucking loved it. I give it a 9 out of 10. I'd go up to a 10 at some point, but it hasn't yet. But yeah, fucking love Jack White. Bring out more albums. I fucking love him.
Need it. I'm
Nice.
gonna listen to it soon. Swear to God.
Do it.
I will close it out with this one, just since I talked about the last one, I guess, and it finally wrapped up. I finished House of the Dragon season 2. I know no one else here has
Nice.
seen it, but pretty much like a entire like bridge season kind of. Like most of it was set up. The last season was 10 episodes. This one was only 8. It was like slightly a letdown, but still really fucking good at the same time. You just kind of wanted more by the end of it, and especially because now we don't know when the next fucking season's gonna come out. God knows when. But did you really have to end it there? It's just one of those like frustrating kind of cliffhangery things. But yeah, overall though, the season was actually like really good. Like I'm just gonna talk about a few like highlight kind of moments, I guess. But like in episode 2 alone, like Rhys Ifans fucking like steals the entire episode. Oh my god, that man is like one of the best performers like ever. I just love him as an actor. I need to see more from him. Episode 4 as well, which was fucking insane. I think it was episode 5, but like that felt like just absolute peak fantasy. Like I haven't seen like fantasy shit done so well in like a while. It was a good season overall. It's just very like slow paced, and I did appreciate that. I think I might appreciate it like on rewatch a bit more once a bit more time has gone by. Like I could see myself picking up things and being like, oh, I actually do kind of like this a bit more. As it was, it's probably like an 8 out of 10 for me now, but yeah, it could go up.
That's what I heard a lot of people saying about it, is that like the ending just kind of built up to something crazy and nothing happened. That's what I heard people say.
It's not like nothing happened. It's just like you want a lot more after everything that was built up. Yeah.
I like Game of Thrones, so I should check it out.
Probably the best performance in the season was Matt Smith though. Matt Smith was really fucking good this season.
Get him in more things. He's a good actor.
Oh, he's so good. And the fucking guy from The Death of Stalin is in this season, by the way. You know the like
Which
big
one?
guy, like the evil guy with the glasses and he's bald.
Oh,
I
him.
think so.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
He's like with Matt Smith for most of the season as he's in
Hell yeah.
in Harrenhal.
Wow.
It's great.
Mini topics?
Yeah, mini topics.
Before that, I think there's one more soundboard thing. I can't remember what it was, Steven.
Oh, I guess that happened.
Oh yeah.
We have emojis, guys. Oh my god.
I know, that was pretty cool. Join the Discord. Yeah.
We have one channel.
Well, one that you can get into.
Can't get into the secret channels.
If someone joins the $20 tier, then maybe.
Damn, what are they gonna get for $20? I mean,
They get to go in the question channel.
It just fucking blow it up.
Just see listener
sabotage it.
questions early.
God, I can't wait for this one to be answered, only for us to go like, I don't know.
Only for us to go like, well, whatever, moving on. Yeah, mini topics. So I guess should we coming off of what we've been watching, we should probably lead into the other one that we were talking about, right?
Okay, guys, we all saw Deadpool and Wolverine.
Directed by Sean Levy.
Starring
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman.
And a load of cameos. We don't want to spoil those yet.
A lot of cameos, a lot of references, a lot of jokes. Shit. Well, I know where I stand. I know where Keelan stands. I don't know where Liam stands, so this will be interesting. But
You haven't seen my review yet.
I must have. Yeah, I missed. You haven't posted it yet or anything?
Oh no, it's there. It's been there for a while.
Oh shit. Oh no, I missed it then.
I'm kind of more on Keelan's side.
Oh no. No.
I gave
All
it
right,
the
well,
exact
it's
same
fine.
score as him.
What? Wow.
Yeah, boys, Deadpool and Wolverine was absolute shite. Oh my
sorry,
god,
man.
it's fucking... Look, I really did go in with an open mind. I did.
So did I.
I cannot stress this enough. I wanted to like it. I do like Deadpool. I really like Deadpool 2. I think Deadpool 2 is a really good movie. The first one, it's kind of aged worse over the years, but it has its place in time.
It's
and
still
I respect
fun
that.
though. I like
Yeah.
could still rewatch
Yeah.
that one and be like, yeah, this is enjoyable.
No, this movie just really upset me.
Good God, where do you even start with this? Like, it was just a bombardment of shit.
It is overstimulation, it is for sure. And like, so I that was one of the reasons I actually wanted to rewatch it, but did not end up rewatching it. Kind of because I was actually afraid I would see its flaws. So I kind of want to stay in my little like bubble of ignorant bliss. Just like, I had fun with it and I'm just going to move on. This is definitely not cinema. Like, this is not like,
No.
this is not Kino or
It's
anything.
the death of cinema.
It's the death of cinema.
It's close.
Oh.
It feels like it sometimes.
It has everything I hate in modern movies rolled into one. I wasn't even like violently hating it like while watching it. It was just kind of washing over me, but like it was just very annoying, and as it went on I just became more and more impatient with it, and I found very little of it entertaining or funny, and that's like the main draw of it. Like, it's a comedy first and foremost. It's meant to make you laugh, and I didn't gel with the humor, and that's fine. I was hoping it would make up for it in the action, and I didn't feel served there either. There's one good action scene. There's one action scene I liked in the car. I thought that was like a genuinely fun moment. There was like one or two jokes I liked. That's about it, and that doesn't make for a good movie for me. And I'm just kind of desensitized to like, oh, it's fucking this guy, it's cameos all over. I don't care. Give me a good fucking story. This movie had no plot whatsoever.
None.
There is not much of a plot, but its one only purpose is to implement Deadpool and Wolverine into the MCU. That's really its only purpose. But it's just kind of it is a big excuse to it's a fan service movie. It's kind of like No Way Home, to where No Way Home had a lot of like callbacks, nostalgia, like bringing you back to a certain era.
No, you're right.
It's just callbacks and references to like literally everything it possibly can reference. Like there's fucking Mad Max shit in here. Why?
I know, I agree with like actually like a lot of the stuff you are saying. Like I do think the jokes are not, they're probably the least clever out of all the 3 Deadpool movies, and whoever the fuck wrote it, but like 5
writers, including Ryan Reynolds and Sean Levy. I think Sean Levy wrote it.
Yeah, no, I don't. Reference humor is like one of the laziest types of humor it is, because it's just referencing things. So I don't like that. I remember watching the first Deadpool in theaters with friends, and it was, at the time, even though it has kind of aged, that type of humor, like it was so new and fresh that like I remember laughing out loud. I was dying in the theater. In this movie, then there was never really laugh out loud moments for me, but a lot of like chuckles. Like I would just kind of like chuckle at a lot of stuff.
Well, even I was doing that, I guess. Like at some moments, I was kind of like, yeah, I guess that's like slightly funny, but I'm just
like the one joke that I thought was quite clever and fun and actually worked with the style of Deadpool is when it's quite early on, so I don't really consider it a huge spoiler, but like earlier on when he's in the TVA and he's being asked to join the MCU, and then he just goes to like the camera and he's like, "Oh fuck you, Fox! I'm with Disney now. I'm going to Disney World," and he breaks the camera. I like that.
No, I agree with a lot of the criticisms for sure. And like I'm of 2 minds of this. Like to be honest, like on any given day I could have watched that movie, had the same exact reaction, because like I've been fatigued for a while with superhero movies. I also don't like reliance on fan service cameos and just non-stop fucking jokes. But like when I go into a Deadpool movie, I really let my inner child sort of just take the fucking wheel, because I was like, I just seeing Wolverine and like as a Marvel comic nerd, I used to be like really into, like I was like, finally we get to see like Wolverine and Deadpool together, finally get to see this and that, and like I don't know, I just kind of like, I really was being forgiving on it.
Definitely on kind of the same page as you were. Like first comic book I ever bought was actually Wolverine and Deadpool. I vividly like remember like what issue it was. This should have appealed to me as well, and I do love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Look, I know I shit on Ryan Reynolds. I like him as Deadpool. I think he actually is a good fit for Deadpool. I think the difference in this, he has his mask off so much, and I think that takes away so much of the character for me. There are so many moments in this movie where he just has his mask off, and it's just like, no, you're not Deadpool now, you're Ryan Reynolds. And it's just kind of taking me out of it. Also, going back to what you're saying about No Way Home, you're right, you are right about that. But I think the difference is, I think No Way Home does actually have genuine heart in it. Like, I don't love that movie, but like I think it does have genuine heart beyond the cameos and callbacks and stuff. I think there is actually stuff there. And obviously it is nice to see Toby and Andrew again. But I think there is more to it there, whereas this is just like, look, it's Wolverine. Look, it's this guy. Look, it's that guy. Look, it's that guy.
This is like where my loyalty ends. Like, I'm done after this. I'm completely done. I mean, it's not like I won't watch anything MCU related after this, but I am not loyal whatsoever, and I'm just over it now. Like, they will do anything in this movie. They don't give a fuck. And they can do anything from this point forward. This movie, like, made me realize that. And
this is, like, the opposite of how I thought it would turn out, because you were always the good... Like, I felt like I was the cynical one about Marvel, and then you were always trying to like give it hope for me, and now it's flipped, because like it's funny because this is the movie that suddenly not gave me hope for Marvel, but like kind of made me feel like, oh, I haven't had a good time with a Marvel movie in a while, so like that was kind of refreshing for me. Like into Keelan's thing about the heart, I don't know, I mean, like that wasn't a problem for me, because to be honest, the last thing I need in a Deadpool movie is heart, like because I do agree there. The more so in the previous movies though, like I feel like anytime it went to like him and the relationship with his girlfriend and trying to get all like melodramatic and sentimental, I kind of hate those moments in a Deadpool movie.
If Deadpool 2 didn't have that, I'd like Deadpool 2 a lot more. I think that part, that stuff sucks. But I think more so what I mean is like passion for the characters more so than anything, rather than like actual like emotion, I suppose. Because like I said, it is a comedy first and foremost, but it doesn't seem to give a fuck about any of the characters rather than being just toys to smash around on a screen.
Now that leads me into a point I want to make, but I can't say it without spoilers, so let's just spoil it.
Spoilers for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Well, when you say passion for the characters, I mean, like, to me, it felt like, and you, yet again, you could chalk this all up to fan service and whatever. Going, like, basically trying to replicate all of, like, the old issues of, like, Wolverine from the comics and, like, you know, all these, like, nerdy comic callbacks that people who only watch the movies wouldn't even get because it's, like, kind of there for the comic nerds. That, to me, felt like they tried to have some passion for the material, some passion for the characters, you know, like, just the whole...
I feel like they had their hands in too many jars, basically. Like it was just something there for everyone, like, and it's just a bombardment at the end of it for me.
I get what you're saying, but I think there's a difference between understanding the characters and looking at a panel, because like everything they reference, I think you're like specifically referring to like dimension hopping scene,
yeah,
where like you see all the different Wolverines
scene. Yeah,
they just like recreate famous like X-Men covers.
I mean,
like the shot of Wolverine on the cross does kind of go hard.
Yeah,
but it's just does nothing for me, and especially fucking the Henry Cavill cameo.
I know that one.
God.
I'm really mixed.
That.
To me, that was like that because wasn't that like old fan fucking casting?
They need
or
to
something?
stop this fucking fan cast shit. They did it with John Krasinski. Now they're doing it with fucking Henry Cavill. Stop it.
No.
Cast someone actually good.
Yet again, that was like in the moment I thought like, oh shit, there's Henry Cavill, and then but now looking back, I'm like, yeah, their intentions doing that was kind of like, why? Like it didn't feel like it fit.
They did it for Reddit points.
Reddit up dudes.
I think it would have been marginally more entertaining if they spaced the cameos out and they had more and they went crazier with it, because they reveal every fucking major cameo one after another. It's like Elektra, then Blade, then Gambit, and it's like why are you doing it all at once? Why are you just blowing your load fucking right here? Like in the middle of it's just like the one moment I fucking burst out laughing is when Blade walked through that door. I could not believe what I was seeing. I just started laughing. I was fucking slapping my friend. I was like, holy fucking shit, what the fuck is this? Then his first word in the movie is like the fucking R slur, and it's just like, okay, fucking hell.
Yeah.
You just caught me off guard. It was like, what the fuck?
There is, I mean, a cameo, I guess, moment that I really liked. It was when they introduced Chris Evans, and like,
oh yeah.
At first I'm like, oh, okay, it's Captain America. Like, I actually didn't even get excited when I saw it was Chris Evans. I'm like, oh, okay, Captain America's in this. I'm not gonna lie, when he said flame on instead of that, I honestly was kind of caught off guard. I'm like, oh, fuck. I didn't think they would actually be bringing back the early 2000s Marvel era of shit. Like, that's what people thought Multiverse of Madness was gonna do.
I only wish they did it better, but the kind of annoying thing about this movie is that the place they're going to is an excuse for them to bring whatever the fuck they want.
Oh yeah,
basically.
this movie has some semblance of a plot. I forgot about that.
Like most of it's set in the what's the
void
fucking called, like that underworld.
Yeah, the void.
You can do what you want there. Like you can get away with this shit there because it's not like complete world changing shit. And most of the movie takes place there. It's like Sean Levy is using this as a playground for most of it.
No,
So,
I do like the idea of the void in terms of like, oh yeah, it's just kind of like where all the fucking the
Rejects
worthless
kinda
properties.
go.
Yeah, I do like that concept, but they don't run with it. Apparently, they asked Nick Cage to be in the movie as Ghost Rider, and I'm sad that didn't happen. It's crazy that fucking Wesley Snipes agreed to fucking be in it, but I guess he's in a fuck ton of gambling debt, so... No, he tax evasion, wasn't it?
Well, now, I guess he took over Hugh Jackman's, like, spot in terms of not how many times he's played a character, but the length of, like...
Yeah.
From the start to the end, he's, like, the longest running MCU portrayal, apparently. Just from, like
2 years.
Oldest to... Yeah. I mean, he's only played it, like, 4 times now, but, like, whatever.
When you like hate a movie this much, you kind of see everything as like as a piss take of everything in like a mean-spirited way. For some reason, the fucking during credits thing of like the fucking showing like the behind-the-scenes footage of the Fox Marvel movies with fucking Time of Your Life playing over it.
Yeah.
I thought that was a joke. Is this meant to be serious? Like, are they actually trying to do like a heartfelt thing here? Because like the music choice was so obvious that I was like, okay, yeah, Deadpool would probably do that. But then I see like fucking posts afterwards of people like, oh, I just got back from like watching like fucking 20 years, like my childhood flash before my eyes or whatever, and it's just like time of your life over it, and it's just like, man, what are modern movie going audiences? What do they want? They're like babies. Sorry, I'm so fucking cynical.
At this point, they really do. I think modern audiences really, most people aren't going to be going into this movie and being like as critical. Like we watch a lot of movies. We like to critique movies. We want quality. A lot of people, I'm not saying that your modern audiences are just lazy casual viewers, but like, I mean, a lot of them, I think, just want to go in and have a good popcorn flick, dumb time. And that's kind of what this provides. Like, we see the bigger picture. Like, we see the whole industry and the superhero industry and where it's going. Most people don't think into that stuff, I feel like. And so, like, they just watch it for what it is. And I guess people do like the nostalgia. They do like the fan service, the callbacks, and, like, that's good enough for them.
But I'm just wondering if, like, every fucking movie now is just going to become, like, reference humor and all that bullshit constantly.
The only superhero that style caters to is Deadpool, because he literally breaks the fourth wall. So it kind of makes sense for him to constantly be doing that shit.
No, it is fine for Deadpool to do that, because that is inherent to his character. But I feel like in the movies, they kind of wash out other elements of his character. In the comics, like, he is like a fanboy more than anything. He obsesses over every fucking Marvel hero he sees. Like, he like grew up as like a Captain America fan, I think. And so that brief moment, it was cute earlier on when he was like excited to see Captain America and he was going to say, oh, Avengers Assemble or whatever. They kind of touched on it briefly there, but they kind of did it more so with fucking Juggernaut and in fucking Deadpool 2, where he's just like, oh my fucking god, it's that I think that moment's great in Deadpool 2. But I'd like to see more of that in his character. I feel like he's too Ryan Reynolds of a character now, and it's kind of sad, because I do like the Deadpool character in the comics, because he breaks the fourth wall, he's funny, but he also has like really fucking dark and traumatic past, and like that's a lot of the struggle in like Deadpool comics, where it's just like he's kind of dealing with like his past demons and stuff like that, and he kind of vents it through his humor. And I like that aspect of Deadpool, but I think they're just kind of morphing Deadpool into a character that's just a vessel for reference humor, and I kind of agree with Liam on that. I mean, movies are already starting to become like reference humor, and I don't want to be that fucking guy who's like, oh, modern movies suck, because I don't think there will be any point in history where like movies altogether suck, but movies like this make me kind of feel that, and it makes me sad, like, especially when this is the second highest grossing movie of the year. Inside Out's the highest grossing, and we've seen stuff like the fucking Furiosa, the Fall Guy, and stuff like that flop. I didn't love the Fall Guy, but I thought that was like a really solid like summer blockbuster, and I was just like, do they just want Marvel movies? Do they just want stuff they're familiar with? And like, that's fine. Obviously, like you were saying, we have different mindsets in terms of like movies and what we want to see, but it just kind of makes me sad to see these like genuinely creative and fun things just kind of be thrown to the wayside in favor of a new fucking Sean Levy movie.
10 times out of 10, I'd rather watch an original like creative idea than just like a third superhero movie in a Disney fucking franchise. Like, that's the last thing I want to see. But unfortunately, that is so much of what we get these days, so it's kind of what we're stuck with, especially at my theater. That's all we can get to stay in business. I want to live in a world to where every movie is just a fresh new idea. I'm kind of tired of franchises, but it's what we got. I definitely agree with a lot of the flaws. One of the other things I wanted to bring up, just because it's a big part of the movie, something I was excited for, it's a negative thing. The more I think about it, the more kind of lazy Wolverine felt written. I kind of feel like they kind of wrote Wolverine to just be extremely one note, like he's grumpy and that's it. And I'm like I'm the guy that's supposed to get touched by that end credit sequence and shit. That's a big nostalgia thing for me, is growing up with those old X-Men movies. And that is not all Wolverine's character is. Like, he's not just a grumpy guy who gets annoyed by whatever. Like, maybe with Deadpool he is, but fuck, I don't know.
I think it was trying to do like a buddy cop thing, which is fine, but I do agree with you there. Like, this is my least favorite I've seen Wolverine. I watched Origins again recently. Wolverine's better than that, and I know Quinn's a big fan of that, so he'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
No, he is genuinely a better character in Origins. I mean, they go through like,
he is,
his entire fucking history, and I think that movie sucks, but it is a really fun watch.
Yeah, get to see like all sides of him. You get to see all the different sides of him in that movie. You really do.
The thing that pissed me off the most, they fucking touched on Logan, and they touched on it fucking hard. They brought X-23, they brought Laura back. They don't try to say, oh, it's a variant. No, this is Laura from Logan. This is the one you saw like 7 years ago. She's trying to find her Wolverine. Why? Her Wolverine died. Her arc ended. fuck right off. Why did she still have those fucking sunglasses? I hate that shit. I hate that she just has those fucking recognizable sunglasses and the backpack and it's just meant to be like a, oh yeah, these are things you remember from this character. No, Laura in fucking Logan was a better character than any of the characters in this fucking movie.
They will do fucking anything. They don't care.
I'm fine with the opening.
Okay, because like I liked the opening not because of the song, not because of the fucking whatever. None of that. I liked it because everybody leading up to the movie was like, so like, I love Logan. I love that movie too. We all do. Everyone was like, don't mess with Logan's legacy. Don't, like, all like the really people online getting upset about it. So I kind of liked if the opening felt like just like a fuck you to like, you know, whatever. Like it's not that deep type thing to where like I'm just gonna fucking vandalize his corpse basically.
I do like that opening scene with him digging up the grave. I thought that was cute. Like I wasn't offended by it. I was just like, oh yeah, that's fun. That's something Deadpool would do. It's everything after that I fucking hate.
Yeah.
I hate the opening scene, and every time I hear
Same.
bye 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 now, I want to fucking kill myself.
Wolverine like hated that song in X-Men 2, and so like in this movie it kind of feels like the ultimate. I mean, Deadpool's literally dancing on Wolverine's grave to a song that he hated. Like it feels like that was almost intentional type
It probably
thing.
was intentional.
The dancing's too much.
The thing I hate
so
the most
bad.
about it is the actual credits, because it's just like, oh, directed by Sean Levy, and in the fucking first two it was like directed by some fucking hack. Like where's the sense of, why didn't you carry on with that?
I know. I still like the idea of Deadpool using Wolverine's like skeleton as like a weapon. Like I think that's just funny. Like just beating the shit out of people with it. Sometimes, a lot of times the execution, yeah, it kind of sucked, but it's far from perfect. But like I still had fun with it. I don't know how soon I'll be coming back to it, but I totally get all your guys' criticisms. Like I get it. Like that could have been me on a bad day, to be honest. Like, I mean, dude, I literally have X-Men Origins as a 9 out of 10, and I'm not even joking with that rating. So I know my taste is fucked up. I know it is.
The only thing that this did better than fucking Origins was Gambit.
To be fair, I haven't seen the Gambit fight scene in like years and years and years, so maybe it does suck. I liked the actor that played Gambit in Origins, but anyway, can't go on an Origins tangent too.
I think we're all Wolvied out to this, but yeah.
8 out of 10.
Me and Keelan gave it a 2 out of 10.
I did in fact give it a 2 out of 10.
Probably one big mini topic we should talk about that also relates to
Yeah,
the MCU.
that's what I was thinking.
And I think we all know what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
He's back, boys.
He's coming back.
He's coming back.
I don't know where you guys stand on it. I feel like I'm one of the few people that's like, I'm totally fine with this.
I've grown more fine with it over time, I think. In the moment, I was like, oh.
I hate it, and I hate it even more now.
I don't care about the MCU anymore, so I'm just like, yeah, whatever.
I
don't
have
give
a
shit.
specific reason for hating it, even though it's just Robert Downey Jr. come back. They have stated that the Robert Downey Jr. Doctor Doom is the new Fantastic Four's Doctor Doom, and I hate that. It's so fucking stupid, because Doctor Doom is so fucking integral to Reed Richards' fucking whole character, and if he's gonna appear first in like a stupid fucking multiverse movie, that kind of gets rid of anything there between fucking Doom and Reed Richards. I hate that. I hate that so much. New Fantastic Four movie, I'm hyped for that. That's like the only fucking MCU movie coming up I'm excited for. That looks fucking sick. Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom, it is like an act of desperation.
I feel like everything they do is now.
And another thing that pissed me off, apparently Mads Mikkelsen was in the talks for the role. Wasn't that great?
But he's already in the MCU, though.
Do you know who else is?
Yeah.
I liked it all before the multiverse shit, because the multiverse shit is now a giant excuse to bring anybody back and do whatever they want and introduce all these cameos and so I genuinely, even though that is an aspect of the comics, so it makes sense as to why they introduced that, I still hate it because they use it as like a get out of jail free card for anything.
The one
now.
thing they've like, I feel like they've used it well on is Loki. Like Loki, they did pretty well on multiverse shit. Like it's actually interesting, the plot itself, rather than just an excuse to bring everyone back and do cameos and shit. It's just like, fuck, man, just be creative with it.
Apparently there's like a comic storyline to where there's like an alternate reality to where like Iron Man becomes Doctor Doom type thing. So apparently that's the angle they're going with, I'm sure, for this. So it's not for no reason other, maybe it is desperation, but at least they have like an angle that kind of would make sense if they approach it from that. I do want to see Doctor Doom in the MCU, but after him, that's like the last thing I was excited to see in the MCU, and I kind of want it to just end.
It's never gonna end.
I know it's never gonna end, which sucks, but like I kind of like the little idea, the hope, which is never gonna happen, but I like the idea that like Robert Downey Jr. was the person that basically kicked off the MCU, and maybe now he can be the one to end it type thing as Doctor Doom. Like I would love for it to just come full circle. Just it started with him and now it's ending with him. We'll see where it goes. We'll see what they do.
I'll just go with my little one, I guess, because we don't really have much to say about it. But Tron 3, Nine Inch Nails are doing the score for it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not even Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. They're just like, hey, we're doing this as Nine Inch Nails. It's going to go the way of Tron 2, where like the movie kind of sucked, but fucking soundtrack is badass. So I hope it goes that way. I'm looking forward to Tron 3 just because of that, I guess. And I'm probably not going to like it because I don't like Jared Leto. So
Tron's something that's never interested me.
I've seen Tron Legacy a while ago.
yeah, all you need to remember is the score, because the score is fucking amazing.
Black Midi breakup, guys.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. No.
Yeah, they're gone.
I like them.
They're done.
It's like I just got into them and now they're gone, basically.
Yeah, they originally just wanted to say nothing, and then Jordy Griep got on Instagram Live or something and was like, yeah, Black Midi's over. They had agreed not to say anything, apparently. It was just like, yeah, we're just going to break up, but we're not going to say anything. And like, there is probably still a possibility that Black Midi will make something in the future, but for now, the three guys are going their own ways. And even fucking Morgan Simpson, the drummer, is actually credited on the new Jordy Griep album. So it's not like, I don't think they fell out or anything. They just kind of want to go different directions musically.
Black Midi's such a strange sound. It's like so cool and
it's so unique.
And yeah.
I can imagine making something like that though would be like fucking tiring, because of how intricate, like musically intricate, and how fucking well produced and chaotic their music is. I can imagine it's just like fucking tiring, and I get that. And I do want more Black Midi, but as it is, we have like 3 fucking amazing albums.
Very true.
What other podcast would you fucking find where you talk about Deadpool and Wolverine then Black Midi breaking up? Come on, we're the best podcast
Exactly.
in the world.
We are.
Literally.
Just this little thing, because Quinn, you brought this up quite a while ago, I think. Yeah, like, I guess it's actually finally happening. I just sent it in the general chat. Yeah, they're doing The Office Australia.
Oh yeah.
It's actually happening, and it's coming soon.
Yay.
Oh my god. Is that the new Michael Scott?
That's the new Michael
That
Scott,
lady?
and it's a woman. And,
They made Michael Scott woke. Oh
How
no.
they made Michael Scott woke and Australian. Oh my
Dude,
god.
look, I mean,
Well, this character's name is Hannah Howard.
Hannah Howard.
Yeah, it's gonna be shit.
the
It's gonna be
fuck?
shit. It's probably gonna get cancelled after one season, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, people are gonna hate it. Because look, I mean, I'm a big I love The Office, but man, the hardcore fans of The Office are
Annoying.
diehard.
The Office
they will
is
not
one of the
accept
biggest
this.
things like ever. It's a fucking plague at this point, but like, yeah,
I mean-
people are passionate about it. They're not gonna like this.
Yeah,
I doubt it's going to be like a full-on remake, like just, you know, another Office show,
Yeah.
mockumentary style type thing, just with kind of like Australian-ish humor. Maybe they'll do like fucking famous episodes from like the US Office and the UK Office. It feels like they're probably going to go their own way, because like that's what they did with the American Office. Literally the same universe as the UK Office, and even at one point in the show, Ricky Gervais is in it.
This one is just like a surefire like disaster. I feel like it's just.
as an Australian, you can say that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna
fuck.
like it. Like, I mean, yeah, being someone that knows Australian humor at the very least, it's not good, guys. Like, it's not gonna be good.
Nah,
I like Michael Cusack a lot.
See if we like Hannah Howard, I guess.
I'm not gonna watch a damn episode. I mean, I don't know.
You're not
I
going to
just-
watch anything Australian?
No, I'll watch Australian stuff. I'm never gonna watch this, whatever this thing is. I'm not. See, that's the death of TV.
It's gonna be another thing like Heathers, where they just make one season of it, and then they're like, "Oh no, that wasn't very good, was it?"
That's different.
They were like, huh, it wasn't a good idea after all. Fuck.
Look, if they could do it with The Big Bang Theory, they can do it with The Office.
Oh, like a spin-off?
Yeah.
Like Young Sheldon? I mean, there's a difference between a spin-off and a remake. It's hard for me to view this as a spin-off.
Would you call the US Office a remake of the UK Office?
No.
Yeah. But that's I guess I would call it a remake. And I mean, because like they literally redo the same characters.
They do the same character archetypes, yeah, but they don't completely redo. They redo certain
But
jokes.
they even redo the same scenes, like the staple and the Jello. It's like everything's like there's so much verbatim, like exactly the way that the dialogue, but the delivery is all different, which is why I give it a pass, because I like the delivery.
When it gets to season 2, it stops relying on the UK Office and it starts to become its own thing, and that's why The Office is now as beloved as it is, because it actually kind of went its own way and tried to work within, you know, its own culture's sense of humor. And I feel like maybe this would be like, I'm not going to watch the fucking Australian Office. I don't really give a shit, but like, trying to be as good faith as possible, I suppose. Well, I'm going to shock you, Quinn. You like Smiling Friends, don't you?
That was something I didn't mention. I watched both seasons recently. I love that show.
Yeah,
now.
listen to this. One of the creators is Australian. How do you feel about that now, huh? How do you feel about that?
I don't have anything against Australians.
Not a racist
or their humor. To me, that feels like an amalgamation of different things. To where like this is like I could feel like this is an Australian show for catered towards Australian audiences type thing. That's what I kind of feel like The Office would be.
Yeah, who gives a fuck about the Australians?
No one. Nah, I don't give a shit. I moved as far away as possible. I'm an American now.
Yeah, America.
Yeah.
Little one, which kind of relates to our main topic, but just hoping that our boy David Lynch stays in good health, because he came out and said, he
Emphysema.
Emphysema, yeah, apparently is homebound, I guess, and
he made a tweet like after that came out, and he was like, guys, I'm fine. I'm not retiring. I do have emphysema, but he's 2 years free of smoking, and he doesn't intend on retiring. And he's healthy. He says his doctor said he's healthy for someone who has emphysema. Yeah. So I'm very happy to hear that, and I hope someone fucking funds a project of his finally. Fucking hell.
I know, seriously. Just saw that. I was actually going to like read he put out the little like quote that he put out. It's just kind of funny.
Read it in his voice.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes, I have emphysema from the many years of smoking. I have to say that I enjoyed smoking very much.
I love that.
And I do love tobacco. The smell of it, lighting cigarettes on fire, smoking them. But there is a price to pay for this enjoyment. And the price for me is emphysema. I now have quit smoking for over 2 years.
I love how like 3/4 of that is just talking about how much he loves smoking.
I know. He has no regrets.
I hope he's doing well. And I hope to see another fucking project for him soon. Because it's not like he has, a whole lot of time left. I'd rather get it sooner rather than later. So hopefully some fucking insane billionaire out there likes David Lynch enough to fund a project of his, because it's fucking ridiculous how he can't get a project funded. In the last episode, I recommended that we watch Twin Peaks. My fucking favorite show of all time. Like, by far, I think. I love Twin Peaks like nothing else. I think about it pretty much daily. It's like a constant thing I think about, like whether it's just a character or a moment or a line or just like everything overarching in the world of Twin Peaks, I suppose. Specifically recommended season 1 and season 2 episodes 1 to 9, and I think you can both see why I did such a specific number now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess the gist of the plot is basically a very popular high school girl, 17-year-old Laura Palmer, was killed. FBI Special Agent Dale Cooper is brought in to investigate it. It's basically kind of, it's a mystery, thriller, comedy, horror type show. And it also kind of started as a parody of like soap operas from like the 80s, like specifically Dallas. It was created by Mark Frost and David Lynch, and it changed television forever. The first season of Twin Peaks, like if you look up like articles or like clips around the time of people talking about Twin Peaks or whatever, that shit was huge. Like I did not realize when I first watched this show just how big it was, because it was like a big cultural moment. No one had ever really seen something like that on television, something that was so serious, something that was so just wacky and unafraid to be itself. And especially with all the characters, like they're all so quirky and they all have like distinct traits. And I think every character in the show is really fucking fantastic. There's like barely a single character I don't like. Like I said, I fucking love Twin Peaks, and I'm very curious to hear your boys' thoughts.
Well, just piggybacking off of all that, like you said, like how there's nothing else like it. I mean, like, I'm not surprised it just blew everybody away at the time, because like this is literally, how often do you see a show that is literally a mix of like a drama, police procedural mixed with a fucking soap opera, and above all, it's directed by David Lynch? Like that just sounds like the craziest show ever. And never in a million years should a show like this work, but it just does. There's truly nothing else like it, and there probably never will be. That's the thing, is that like 5 or 6 years ago, I did try watching Twin Peaks, and I don't know what my expectations were or anything, like to where like I was kind of going in expecting like a traditional just kind of like drama police show, and I wasn't ready for what actually was. I had no idea what it was going to be, and so didn't work for me at all my first time watching it. Thank God I watched a lot more Lynch. I thought about it a lot more. I gave it time, and coming back to it now, like the switch fucking flipped where it should have, and I like experienced experienced it in probably the exact way, like the best way you could put it out. I mean, it's not my favorite show, but I would also put it up there as one of my favorite shows now. And I haven't even finished season 2, and I literally would say it's one of my favorite shows now.
It also took me a few tries to get into Twin Peaks as well. I tried to start watching it just before The Return came out, and I think earlier in that year I had watched like Blue Velvet and Eraserhead and Wild at Heart for the first time. I knew I really liked it. I couldn't explain why I liked it, but I just never continued, and then it became an annual thing where I'd like watch the first 4 or 5 episodes of Twin Peaks and then I'd have the urge to go back to it, and I'd be like, okay, no, I have to start from the beginning again, because yeah, I think it was 2020 when I ended up finishing it. In 2020, I just watched the entire fucking show. I was like, okay, this is going to be the time, and it just hooked me. And it really fucking hooked me that time, and I'm so glad it did. But anyway, Liam, how do you feel about Twin Peaks? Tell me. It's your first David Lynch thing.
Unless you include Fire is Coming,
big.
obviously.
Yeah, of course.
After this, like I want to see every single thing that man has done. I don't know what else to say about it. Like that's really the best thing I could say. It's like this just absolutely floored me in every single way. Like the season 1 and 2 are so different from each other.
Yes.
And like I really appreciated that. Like the shift it has is so gradual but so like weird. But we'll get more into all of that later. But it's the style of all of it is just so interesting to me. Like, yeah, it's like soap opera, drama, comedy, romance, fucking mystery. It's a thriller. It's got like literally everything you can want, and it's like all very art housey at the same time sometimes. It's such a strange show, but it's like so comforting at the same time, and then so nightmarish at the same time. It's like it's got everything. I love this show.
I'm fucking delighted to hear that, guys. Genuinely, like fucking. I was kind of worried you wouldn't vibe with it, and I'd just be like, oh, I like this show, I guess. But
no, I adore this.
This is one of those episodes, like, it would be sad if one of us wasn't on the same page about it type thing. Like, it would just, because this is, like, a lot. The fucking, like, overall, you could just sum it up to, like, the vibe. Like, this show is just immaculate vibe.
Oh, the vibes are off the charts, my friend.
They just are.
The music alone. The music.
Angelo Badalamenti's score is like fucking perfect, and
oh my god, yeah.
When I first watched through season 2, and I think this will probably be an issue going forward in this season, Laura Palmer's theme was used a fuck ton, and I think especially in the coming episodes up until the point I recommended, they spam the fuck out of it, but it's a testament to how good that fucking song is that I'm not tired of it at all. It's such a beautiful fucking song.
I don't really get bothered by it. I mean, it's kind of just the theme. It's gonna be there, and it works for that like soap opera nature of the show anyway. Kind of.
I mean, it's literally like the close every time it cuts to the end credits, right? That isn't that the theme that plays over it, right? So it's like it conditions you, but it just still like it's ingrained in your head, and it's
been living in my head the last like week. Yeah, for sure, we could all say that.
It's been living in my head for years.
Oh, 100%.
I listen to that song so often. It's just so perfect, and even the theme song, like the theme song is just so iconic, and that the intro alone, like the fucking shot of like the sign, you know, welcome to Twin Peaks, the font they use,
the saw,
like
the
thing, the birds,
that fucking saw. Every time I see it, I'm like, God, there's that saw again.
Beautiful opening, and I love the color choice of the font as well, where it's just like the green border and the brown inside. It's like a tree. Like, I mean, like the first thing fucking Cooper asks about, like when he gets into Twin Peaks, is like, what are the name of these gorgeous trees you have around? The pilot is like the best pilot ever. There's no pilot that is as good as it. It just gets you right fucking into it. That opening, the whole opening scene with fucking Jack Nance's character discovering Laura's body. I think Pete is the only character whose name I forget because I just think of him as the Eraserhead guy. So
literally, that's me too. That was my introduction to Lynch, was Eraserhead. So every time I see him, I'm just like, I just only know him as Eraserhead.
Yeah,
but
like the way he talks in this show is so funny. I love it.
A fish got in the percolator.
The fish got in the percolator.
The specific way that the lines are written combined with the delivery, just like this is like a pure this is one of the funniest shows ever, as well as like being one of the most fucking horrifying shows ever.
Every character has like their perfect way that they are, like in dramatic situations and in comedic situations. Like they each have like a perfect thing that like defines them.
Yeah, but yeah, just that opening scene is just a perfect tone setter. Calling the police and being like, she's dead, wrapped in plastic. It's so beautiful, so iconic, so fucking heartbreaking. You can immediately tell like what the vibes of the town are going to be and what it's because obviously being a small town, and I think Dale even says this in like one of the earlier episodes, it's not just a murder, it's not just another murder, it's not a statistic, it is someone that everyone knew and, you know, was a face around, and she was like a beloved face, and it's hard for the town to take, and I love that aspect of it. And that first episode alone just deals with that so perfectly. Like, I'm thinking specifically of the scene where Leland is told about her death for the first time, where he's waiting to go in to talk to the Norwegians or whatever, and then talking to Sarah on the phone, and then fucking Truman comes in. It's just so beautifully acted. Like the three perspectives of it, where you get to see like Leland and there's Truman and Sarah's over the phone and she can tell what's going on. I can't get over how fucking perfect that scene is. Like, I tear up every time I see it. It's brilliant.
No, that's a scene that sticks in my head too, just like for some reason. Everybody finding out about it, like in the classroom, they just know.
Crying.
Like, they didn't
Donna's
hear it.
crying.
Yeah, Donna's crying. I just keep thinking of James snapping the pencil too.
I keep thinking of James's big fucking forehead.
I know, he's got a fucking massive forehead.
He's just looking at Donna, and just like half the screen is his forehead.
Literally. No, every character has they're so defined, even if it is just by their crazy kind of look.
Yeah, their
just
look and their style, or the way they speak.
It's almost like they're all like caricatures, but not in a bad way. Like, you know, you could just like instantly describe somebody. Like, they're all so almost unique to a fault. Like, it shouldn't work, but it just does because it's Lynch.
I guess I should probably say, apart from Dale Cooper, do you have any characters that you love in the show?
I was like, we should name our favorite characters, but not Cooper, because that's too easy. Because I know we all love him.
I mean,
like, who doesn't?
Cooper's incredible.
I should probably say off the bat that like I don't really like rank things in terms of like characters and stuff, but if I were, Cooper is my favorite all-time fictional character, and you can probably see why. And he's like my profile picture on everything. I adore him. The only character I'm not huge on is James, but that's like a common thing with like Twin Peaks. It's just like,
Do you feel like that's like running throughout? Like,
it gets
as a thing for
worse.
You just
Oh,
don't like
shit.
James?
No,
Overall?
in the coming episodes of season 2, I won't say much, but James is worthless. He is not a good character.
Really?
I mean, for at least season 1 and stuff, like, I don't feel like he's a bad character or anything.
He's the best in season
He's
1.
just there.
I do like him.
I like him too, but he's just a little boring to me, I guess. Like, there's not much, you know, he's just kind of there.
Maybe
type
sometimes,
feel
but
to
he's
me,
just very sincere with his performance every time that you see him on screen. So it's like, I do feel captivated
Yeah.
sometimes when I'm watching him, because I'm like, he seems passionate about this at least, and that's nice.
Yeah.
And obviously he is a big part of the investigation, since he was Laura's boyfriend. Well, secret
Yeah.
boyfriend.
Aside from Dale Cooper, I can't help but love Sheriff Truman. He is just such a likable guy. Like, how do you not like Sheriff Truman? Such an endearing duo too. Like, aren't they just like the most adorable fucking buddy cop like duo? Like,
Yeah.
Harry's kind of
like-
just, he's very just oblivious.
I don't think so.
I guess not oblivious, like just kind of casual, like he just goes along with everything.
That
He's like,
highlights the difference between him and Cooper, because Cooper,
I mean,
yeah, he has fucking crazy
Yeah.
intuition. You can't match up to
Yeah.
Cooper's intuition, but like fucking, it would have been very easy to make Harry a boring character, but he is a very lovable character, and I love anytime he's on screen. I love his interactions
Me
with
too.
Cooper. All the sheriff's department, really. I love them all. Like fucking Hawk is great. He doesn't show up much
love
this season.
Hawk.
Hawk's great, but Andy
Andy
though.
is so
Andy.
lovely. I love Andy so much, and I'm glad that he's not reduced to just a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
He clearly has like passions, he has loves. I love that he's an actual character rather than just like comic relief, which, you know, he is very funny, and sometimes, you know, I call Andy oblivious. His oblivious nature is very funny,
Yeah.
but he's a character with heart. He feels like a real person, and it's not like completely over the top. And I do love his relationship with Lucy, and Lucy's great as well. I just love her fucking line deliveries.
She's a character that could so easily be annoying, but she's not.
nah.
And like, yeah, her relationship with Andy is like, they are and to me, like the cutest couple out of all the couples. And there's a lot of fucking couples in the show.
Everyone's
Holy
cheating
shit.
on everyone.
Everyone's cheating on everyone, yeah.
Dude, I was about to say, the amount of affairs in this town needs to be burned to the ground. Everybody's cheating on everybody. It's insane. It literally racks my brain season 1, because I'm like, it's just one after another.
Like two, I guess, slightly lesser characters that I just absolutely fucking love. One being Nadine, because she's just
Nadine is
nuts.
fucking
She's fucking insane, that woman. Oh my god. But every moment from her just makes me fucking burst out laughing. That scene when like Ed is dripping that shit on the carpet and she folds her arms back and breaks that like metal thing or whatever, and she's just screaming. And I love how like scared Ed is around her all the time. But also the fucking Major Briggs. Oh my god, I love that guy.
Great.
Don't call him lesser. Major Briggs is a fucking icon. I love
Major Briggs is incredible. Every scene
he's
from him.
great.
The fucking cigarette slap in the second episode when he slaps it above his mouth. Oh my god. I'm a patient man.
We'll talk more about Briggs when it comes to season 2 because I feel like he has more of a role in season 2 and he's very important in season 2, I feel. I love Briggs dearly, and you know, I love Bobby as well. I think Bobby is a fucking great
I love Bobby.
Like,
I'm
look,
starting
no.
down with Bobby.
He's starting to get a bit annoying to me.
I guess I have hindsight from seeing all the show. I've only seen The Return once, but I've seen this show like at least like 2 or 3 times. Like, I know where his character is going and I can see different facets of him developing throughout the show, but I do really, really like Bobby. I like all the kids. I like Donna a lot. I think Donna's a really cool character. Fucking love that David Lynch loved Cheryl Lee so much that he was like, you know what? Let's bring you into the show again as fucking Laura's identical looking cousin. And she's great in the show.
She is really
one
good.
of my notes that but like one of my notes that I took, I was like, since when do cousins look identical to
Don't worry
each other?
about it.
How does that
Don't
happen?
worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
I know, but like still, it's like,
Cheryl Lee is just that good of an actor, and I think she's wonderful. I think she might be, if I were to have any criticism, maybe slightly misplaced, but that's about it. Like, I can't even explain why, but every time I kind of see her with James and Donna, I'm like, that doesn't seem right. And I can't put my finger on it, but that's kind of how I feel in my gut, I suppose.
I'm just glad they acknowledge the fact that she looks just like Laura. So it is intentional. Like, it's not just, I want to cast Cheryl Lee for another role. It's like, it has a point to being there.
I mean, yes, it does.
We should talk about the dream sequence at the end of the second episode.
3rd episode.
Yeah, like when that happens, I feel like it hasn't really become very like surreal or trippy or anything up until then. And then like the credits roll and you're just like, all of that kind of stuff is so purposeful. And I've like never seen it, dream sequences or like things like that, like art housey things like that, I guess, be used in such a powerful way, because it's like, it's really interesting going along with the investigation and stuff with all of this, because you can feel like you're either behind or ahead of Dale, and it wouldn't really matter that much because it's still kind of gonna surprise you.
And just also the foresight to put that at like the end of episode 3 and then have that same, like, you know, basically details of that dream revealed in literally like the episode we just finished, like episode 9 of season 2, like the way it just comes back, like the planning of all of this. Like, it's like you could tell like Lynch had whole plan, like he had everything planned out.
You know, having like seen it back then and like not really like understanding what it would lead up to or whatever, like when you're in that kind of state of mind about it, that kind of stuff is so creepy. I think it's like it just sticks with you.
We'll talk more about it in season 2, but like it wasn't planned very well. I'll discuss that later because it's quite interesting and I think you'll find it interesting too. But you are like spot on about like the Black Lodge sequence. It's iconic. Like, everyone associates Twin Peaks with the Black Lodge, even though it's only really in the first season once. You got the arm and you've got Laura Palmer there, and it's just so beautiful, so horrifying, so confusing. Like, what the fuck does he mean by that gum you like is going to come back into style? What the fuck are you talking about, little man? Just fucking
He's talking backwards, or like the way he talks.
It's so creepy.
The way they achieve that effect is so cool though, because apparently they actually spoke backwards and then they reversed that, so it kind of sounds like you can hear the words.
It's so strange.
Because it's like you could still tell what he's saying, but just barely. It's just so off-putting.
Any like film or show is able to achieve like, you know, nightmarish stuff like that and really have it like stick with you. It's like nothing else, because it feels really just like you're having a nightmare sometimes when you're watching it.
Twin Peaks has so many like moments that like genuinely scare me, put like a fucking pit in my stomach, and it kind of increases more as the show goes, especially in The Return.
Even at the end of the second episode, I am actually getting it right this time, but like when Jacoby like opens the coconut and there's the necklace in there and stuff.
It goes to a point where it's not creepy and it actually kind of makes sense, but you're still kind of like, but why do you care this much about this girl? Like, why do you care this much about this patient? But
it's like for most of season 1, it's like a big guessing game.
There's a lot of red herrings.
Yeah, the biggest red herring of all is like Leo.
Talk about the most hateable character. Holy
Absolute
shit,
fucking
Leo.
bastard. I fucking
He's the
hate Leo.
worst.
But he's played well, I
Yeah.
think. Like there's obviously some cheese in the show as well. Even when it comes to like some more horrifying moments. Like a moment that sticks out in my mind is when like he puts the soap in the sock and he's gonna beat a Shelly. That moment is kind of done in a cheesy way, but it also like it is really fucking like scary, I think. Like just the shot of him just like fucking, you know, spinning the sock and then her just on the floor cowering. It's a powerful image, but it's kind of done in a kind of cheesy way. But yeah, another character I really love, and I don't think you guys will agree with me right now, but I promise you fucking will. Albert. I love Albert. He's so fun.
What? I love Albert. He's hilarious. Like, I can't help but laugh at his jokes because he's making good jokes.
First, you think I like him as just like a funny, like he's so much of an asshole that he's kind of funny to watch.
You know, after fucking Truman fucking punches the shit out of him, and he fucking goes to Cooper and he's like, "Hey, I need to sign this document just to send back to headquarters." And Cooper gives that whole thing of like, "No, Harry, I'm not going to do this." No, not fucking Harry, Albert. Just like defending Harry. I love that shit from Cooper.
What do you think about his like relationship with what's her name? Gosh,
Josie Packard?
Yeah, Josie. Yeah. I mean, does that like get? I'm assuming that comes more to fruition. Like, I mean, you don't have to say obviously, but like, there's more to that.
A little more.
I don't know. There was always an aspect of it. I'm like, I don't know where it's going. You know. Like,
yeah, it's probably one of the weaker plot threads in the show, but obviously I won't talk much about it. It's something that I forget about when I rewatched the show. Cooper and Truman are talking to Josie about Laura, and Cooper is like, "Oh, so how long have you been dating?" And he's like, "How do you know?"
Oh shit, no, sorry, I'm not even talking about Josie, the Asian woman. I meant Cooper's relationship with the younger girl.
Oh, Audrey,
like it's not really a relationship.
I love both characters. I think Audrey is great. I really love Audrey.
Yeah.
I think that's a little creepy. I'll say this much, and it's not really a spoiler. It doesn't go anywhere, and the reason it doesn't go anywhere is because behind the scenes, Kyle MacLachlan was dating Laura Flynn Boyle, who plays Donna. She didn't want Audrey and Cooper to get together because she was jealous of Cheryl and Fenn. That's just kind of like a young love type thing where like Audrey's like constantly fawning after Cooper. So glad it stays that way.
Me too.
I can't see Dale Cooper fucking anyone. He's just
no. Like it just kind of falls in that whole like not everybody like there's already too many relationships in the show. Like you don't need to put that on Cooper as well.
Something that hasn't been mentioned yet, but like characters that I honestly just love: the Horn brothers.
Oh, the Horn brothers.
Yeah.
Ben and what's his name?
And
Jerry.
Okay, Jerry.
It's Ben and Jerry.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they are hilarious. Ben is like, who plays Ben? He's such a good actor. He's so fucking funny.
Richard Beamer.
When they're just like going nuts about the bread, like in the I think second episode or whatever, like oh my god,
I love that shit so much.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
And they're just like constantly eating new weird exotic things like all the time, and it's so funny.
Jerry's smoked cheese pig.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah,
Just
I love
the
those
way
two.
like Ben carries himself, all his mannerisms are hilarious to me.
He always smokes those big ass cigars. It's like twice the size of an actual cigar. Yeah. But fuck, we need to talk about Leland. I love Leland. Leland is so chaotic.
Yeah. Yeah. He's chaotic, but in the first season, it is heartbreaking, like watching him kind of going into like a mental spiral almost.
Just as an example, yeah, when they're dancing and like maybe was it the bar maybe, but like and he's having like a mental breakdown basically, but then everyone else starts imitating like his moves because they think he's dancing, but in reality he's just like literally like losing his shit. It's kind of funny but really sad and disturbing at the same time. I love how all over the place he is, but it works.
And yeah, the mystery always remains intriguing, and I love that. I love like every little procedural scene. They're great. Like obviously like the fucking cover of this episode, the fucking rock throwing. Oh my god.
I was just about to I wanted to bring that up. I love that scene. Like that perfectly encapsulates like, you know, like the intuition, just the weird ways that Cooper goes about everything like into one scene. Just like how he's going on and about like the first thing he says is like, I want to tell you about the country of Tibet or whatever he said.
Yeah.
Like the people of Tibet and their plight. And I very much sympathize with the plight of the Tibetan people and like stuff like that. It's like, and they're all just sitting there like, they probably have dealt with anybody like this.
I love that like right after that you see Lucy like reading about Tibet. It's so cute.
Yeah. Like an investigative story, like a lot of times I can get stale and boring in a normal like cop drama show, but like the way that it's done here with these weird methods of going about things. It just keeps everything so interesting and like quirky and unique.
There's no logical basis for it, but it's awesome.
It's just pure, like it literally borders on like, the supernatural, like this whole show. Like when I first got into Twin Peaks, I had no inclination or idea that it would be like a supernatural show in any way. So that's another reason why it didn't work for me my first time. But like now it's such a fucking unicorn of a show, the way it just balances traditional sort of like cop investigative drama with otherworldly stuff. I don't know.
I think what I love the most about Twin Peaks overall, and I think this especially goes for season 2, it's a show that prioritizes emotion over logic, and I really appreciate that. It never holds your hand. It more wants you to take in its world and what it's presenting to you, and it wants you to think about them, and it just wants to see how it makes you feel, and I love that. And I love that about all of Lynch's work. That's something that can go for any of his movies, and that's why he's my favorite director. Okay, we've talked about Lynch a lot, but I also want to just recognize Mark Frost is also a fucking huge part of the show. Do not discount him just because David Lynch is a bigger name. Mark Frost was actually a catalyst for like a lot of the more supernatural stuff, believe it or not. And especially like with the stuff relating to the Laura Palmer case. Like there's that bit in episode 5 before they confront Philip Gerard and Andy fucking drops the gun outside the motel and it goes off. That shit, I love that shit so fucking much, you know? Even just little things, sorry, like Cooper's little fucking whistle. I love Cooper's little whistle. He's just tooting it.
Yeah. Who are some characters besides Leo? Like we talked about a lot of characters we like, but who are some characters that you just really just didn't like? I mean, even if it was intentional, like they didn't want you to like them. Because like one for me was Catherine Martell. I just don't like her. Like
We'll talk more about her in season 2, but I don't like her in season 1.
Why not?
And I don't hate her. I think she's like a weirdly like malicious character, and I think she's played very well. But I'm never like extremely engaged when she's on scene. I like her relationship. I like her relationships with Pete and Ben.
I think she has a good purpose in the first season, and she's like entertaining enough to watch. Like she has some good moments, definitely.
Just her personality, I don't know why. I think
for me that's probably Norma.
Like she's just kind of like a normal working person, you know. She's just running the diner. And Twin Peaks has so many fucking iconic locations. It's crazy. Like the RR diner. Yeah. It's iconic. It's iconic. And the Bang Bang Bar. Oh, I love it. I mean, the Bang Bang Bar doesn't really appear much in the first season, apart from like at the end of episode 1 where Donna's going in to meet James. To find James, because James just kind of disappeared. There's just some, and obviously the fucking Black Lodge, the Red Room. It's such perfect fucking set design. It's so striking visually, like just the 2 couches and the lamp in the middle, the red curtains. Oh, it's beautiful. Like even the fucking, my phone background is literally just like the lead into the Black Lodge. I just love it so much. It's brilliant.
I love the intro, like the first time you see Bob.
Yeah.
The first time you see Bob. It is so weird.
It is.
Like it's weird and it's dreamlike and it's just it's like what, like it is, it's such a weird way to introduce like an antagonist, like just like that. What the fuck? Like that's like literally my reaction. Like there's a lot of times the show just makes me go like, what the fuck? And that was one of them. And I love it though.
The guy who played Bob was a set designer and he was working on Twin Peaks. And he was like peering through something or something, and David Lynch saw him and he was like, hey, how do you want to be the villain in our show?
Oh my god.
He looked like a creepy guy.
He was just cast because he looked creepy, and David Lynch was like, I like your vibes, man. Be our villain.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Just like Dale Cooper, David Lynch has that intuition. He just knows like this would be a perfect fit. You know.
But yeah, and Sarah Palmer as well. I think she's kind of an underrated part of the show. Like she doesn't show up often, but when she does, it fucking breaks my heart. She's like focused on the least, and like as the mother of like, you know, the victim of the murder, it just kind of goes to show like the kind of attitude of the town. Like they don't really give a shit about Sarah Palmer, and she's just kind of isolated by herself, and she's starting to see visions of Bob and all that, and all she really has with her is Leland. It's just so heartbreaking.
And obviously like Leland is being very loud constantly about how sad he is, so he's getting most of the attention.
Yeah, it's two different aspects of like going through grief, I suppose, and especially something as big as losing your fucking daughter. if we're going into the ending of season 1, I have 2 questions. How did you feel about Cooper getting shot? Did you expect that?
I said, oh no.
You just said, oh no?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Pretty much. I mean, it just ends after that. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I kind of knew. I mean,
you've seen it before, but
I think I knew like he was a big part of the show, and like there was all these extra seasons, movies and stuff. So like I knew he would be fine. So it didn't like. I mean, but I could imagine, you know, watching this for the first time when it was airing. Yeah, in 1990, I would probably be like devastated. Like, you're kidding me. Like, you killed the best fucking character.
I would have been really mad.
Like,
yeah, there's like news segments around the time of like people gearing up to like watch the last episode of Twin Peaks. They call them Peakies, but like they were like filming their reaction to like the finale or whatever, and everyone just screamed when Cooper got shot. It's so funny to look back on.
It's an accurate reaction to have.
Also, without going into spoilers, I just want to ask, who did you think killed Laura Palmer when you watched the first season? Who did you think did it?
Didn't really have a solid idea in my mind. There's a lot of
I literally had
evidence.
no idea either.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's all based on kind of intuition.
I mean, I obviously thought Bob, but I didn't know what Bob was at the time.
Yeah.
I thought Bob was like this guy that was hiding or some shit. So I kind of thought it was that. I thought it was him, but like I didn't know exactly how they would actually go about that.
But I mean, I think we should just go straight into season 2 though and talk about this first episode, because like that opening, whoa, like
Absolute
all of it is just
masterpiece of an episode.
I mean, even just the old man coming back and forth in the door.
Oh yeah,
That is so drawn out, but it's so great. Like, oh my god, it's hilarious.
Man.
But
It's so fucking funny. Just Dale just laying there while the guy's just coming in. It's just like, your milk is gonna get cold or whatever. It's fucking, it's brilliant. And I just love the look of that guy, the fucking lanky old guy, the way he carries himself, the way he speaks, just like talking very slowly. Oh, it's beautiful.
And is it the first time you see the giant guy appear? I'm pretty sure it is
right
too.
after that.
Yeah, man. So you're just like getting bombarded with crazy shit. Yeah,
It is
like it is
man.
such a shift, like such a huge shift, and you can feel it like almost instantly. It's like this is not season 1. This is different.
You got to be ready for all the weird. Like it gets way weirder, way crazier. It feels like, and just way more.
It does feel like more of a slow
otherworldly,
burn,
like I said.
as well.
I mean, yeah, because it's gearing up to, you know, where we kind of ended off. And despite what went on behind the scenes, I do like the pace that like, Laura Palmer case picks up at. I love the way it's explored in the first half of the second season. It's just so brilliant, just brilliantly fucking brought together, and I love the Giant's fucking clues. They're just and then Dale just coming across them, just like the smiling bag, and then immediately he's like, "Huh, I wonder if it's that." I love it so much. I love the Giant. I fucking love him so much.
Yeah,
he's just like a minor character, but he's just a comforting presence.
I mean, the Giant is just yet another. I feel like David Lynch just like found like all these weird, crazy, out there looking people, and was like, I just want to implement you in my show somehow. Everything from the Giant, the midget, like to Bob. I mean, like literally everybody. Like it's just so unconventional. Like the casting, the ways that anyone else would go about this. People would probably be too afraid to put stuff like that or people like that in a show and just go along with it. But like Lynch just fucking does whatever he wants, and it works.
Yeah.
This episode did get one of the biggest laughs out of me though, in one line.
Oh well, which one? Which part?
Chopping wood indoors.
Yeah.
You know Leo.
Yeah, you know Leo. You can say that. Yeah, you joke.
I mean, there's also the line that Andy gives, like I think near the end of the episode, like where they're all in the room, like talking about, because like at this point, they discovered like the Leo's boot. Like Andy fucking stepped on the plank, and fucking Albert is just basically kind of ragging on everyone, and fucking Andy goes, "Albert Rosenfeld, I don't like the way you talk smart about Sheriff Truman or anybody." I love that so much because it's just such funny delivery, and I just love seeing Andy standing up for himself and other people. It's so beautiful. I love Twin Peaks.
Yeah. Rare moments where Andy does step up or stand up for himself, whether it's to Albert or Dick Lucy's other love interest. It's just like one of my favorite moments of the entire show. It's probably my favorite moment of the entire show. The fucking like
completely valid.
When Leland's just running around singing that damn song, and he comes into and Ben and Jerry just start fucking dancing, and Ben gets on the desk and Ben's basically hitting the gritty. I'm like, what the fuck?
Hitting the gritty on the
Literally,
table.
Ben, like that
I'm
there's
back.
dosi with lambsy divey. Like, I mean, my God, like
I've
It
rewatched
was
that
so
clip
good.
so many times. So many times.
there's a video that's literally like called like Twin Peaks summed up in one scene, and that's the scene
Yeah.
that they chose. It's like that scene. It's my favorite moment of the show.
That
That's
is
my
so
favorite
funny.
moment. It probably will.
And
yeah.
that is completely valid. That scene is just beautiful. Beautiful. And
Yeah.
fucking Leland just showing up with white hair is just like, oh, what's going on here?
Fucking Jerry doing the worm on the ground while Ben's up on the desk, and like they're just all losing their minds. Like, it's so good.
This episode specifically has so many moments that I just fucking adore. When Sheriff Cooper is brought, not Sheriff Cooper, fucking Agent Cooper is brought to the hospital, and he's waking up, and Lucy's telling him what happened the past night since he was been shot. Just like,
Oh, yeah.
Leo's in a coma, Jock Renault is dead, and so on and so forth.
Nadine took a bunch of pills.
Yeah.
This place burned down.
I really love like Albert laughing at Ed's whole thing when he's talking about Nadine, even like he's trying not to laugh, I guess, but it's just so
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Albert's such a dick.
That's
Yes.
another moment I was going to bring up, because I think that's such a beautiful moment. Like, just Ed talking about how he got with Nadine. And
It
how
is,
he
but
had
I
to
was
kinda-
just laughing because of Albert. I don't know.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Another moment, one of the best moments in the entire show, I think. Major Briggs talking to Bobby at the diner and talking about his vision and the
Oh
dream
my
he
god.
had.
Yes.
That's kind of the scene that makes me change my whole perspective on Bobby, because it feels like going forward, and I feel it in this season too. Bobby's whole demeanor changes, his whole purpose in life changes, and I know there's like the stuff with Leo, but there's still like an element of goodness in him, and I just love what that speech does for the show, for Major Briggs and for Bobby. I think I love that speech so much.
It's a
I love that scene too.
Great.
It's like one of those heartfelt scenes between, like, it's like finally like a heartfelt scene kind of between those two, because he literally, like, that's a scene where Bobby literally asks his dad, like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do for work?
that's classified. He is so good. I love that guy.
So
We all
hilarious.
love Major Briggs here. It's the Major Briggs
We do.
podcast.
Are we moving outside of episode 1? Completely random like moments here, but I just wanted to highlight these two. But like when they're going to visit Ronette and they're like adjusting the seat or whatever,
Yeah.
I was laughing so fucking hard. Harry's like reading the entire instructions on it, and Dale's just like, all right, when's he gonna sort this out?
It's such a serious moment, but them just fucking with the chair. It's just like, oh yeah, he kind of has to get down to her level a bit. No, oh yeah, so you have to pull it up a bit.
There was something else that like had me kind of like uncomfortably laughing. Like it was really funny, but like just really surreal and weird at the same time. But the cream corn, do you remember that?
Oh my God,
Garmin
the kid, that was
Bose, yeah.
That was so
David
weird.
Lynch's son.
Yeah.
That was David Lynch's son.
That's
too,
so weird
apparently.
though, that whole scene. It's just like so
The kid holding the
uncomfortable
cream
for some
corn.
reason.
Do you want to know something fucked up?
Yeah?
Creamed corn is very important in Twin Peaks.
Really?
Very
Oh, boy.
important.
When she left and he's like, she seemed like a nice girl.
It means
So weird.
I said it to Liam the other day. Flying Lotus dropped a new song, and it's inspired
Yeah.
by Twin Peaks.
Really?
Our power is unmatched.
Yeah,
we do a
our
Flying
power is
Lotus
unmatched.
episode and fucking Twin Peaks episode within 6 months. Flying Lotus releases a fucking.
Synchronicities.
But the song's called Garmin Bosia, and in Twin Peaks, Garmin Bosia is cream corn. It also means something else, but I won't say that yet. Surprisingly, it's very important. There's a lot of like minor shit in Twin Peaks that turns out to be like the fucking root of understanding the show.
That's what I'm loving about it so far, like you just telling me that. I mean, that's a scene where I was just kind of laughing and feeling uncomfortable, but like knowing it has meaning, I'm like, I'm not shocked at that
Yeah.
because everything has felt like it has had meaning so far. It's crazy.
No, like at this point, like I don't know what to expect, and I'm not surprised that something weird or like just random like that would have a place, like a bigger place in the show. So like, yeah,
James's song, Oh my god, it's so bad.
Are you talking about James' song when he's playing the guitar?
When he's playing the guitar with
You don't
Donna and
like
Maddie. It's so fucking. I love that scene so much just because of how fucking cringe it is, and I hate James so much.
Really, I don't know. To me, that was just so random. Like, wait, why are we doing this? Like, that's one of those moments where I was like, wait, why are we doing
That
this?
voice coming out
but-
of James. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Just you. It's perfect.
Am I the only one who doesn't think it's that bad? It's not that bad, I don't think.
I don't think it's a bad song. I've listened to it a couple of times and I've enjoyed it, but it's just such a weird moment, like especially in that episode, like after the fucking creamed corn, and then after like there's all those visuals of like fucking the owl being superimposed on Bob's face and him just like climbing over the couch, and then just to like immediately go into like, oh, just you and oh my god.
I was just feeling really like scared by all that, because yeah, that scene with Bob is fucking terrifying, by the way. Like the sound design in that scene, Bob like crawling in my screen.
He's just coming at you.
Yeah, he's coming at me.
Fucking headed towards, literally just by the way he comes towards the camera. It's fucking, he is a creepy looking guy. Like, I would cast him too if I was Lynch.
I guess this is kind of maybe gonna like shift into talking about some later ones, but like episodes like 3 to 6 were kind of feeling a little bit dull to me. Like, having said that, watching like 7, 8, 9, it feels like it makes sense now, and I'd probably go back and watch it and be like, now I love this.
I can never hate episode 6. Gordon fucking Cole, boys. Gordon fucking Cole, the absolute
yeah, I mean, we love
goat.
Gordon.
Oh my god, I love Gordon so much.
Yeah, of course. Fuck. Yeah.
I mean, obviously,
that
David Lynch.
Yeah.
He just has a particular way of talking, but that whole character, I love Gordon so much.
He's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And just like his whole fucking thing with the hearing aid, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. And his first fucking scene with Cooper, you remind me today of a small Mexican chihuahua.
But no, those episodes you're talking about, where it kind of hits like a little bit of a lull, I think that is where I did stop my first time when I watched Twin Peaks. That's where I stopped.
Yeah, and
I think it was when it got to like the subplot with the Meals on Wheels guy, the guy that looks like Martin Short.
That's where I was like,
I like Harold.
I probably would now. I think, like, going
Yeah.
back, I think, like, first time I was just like, this is kind of dull, and I'm not really into this character that much, I guess.
That was the subplot that kind of made me just like give up on the show at the time. I was like, I don't care. Like, but now it didn't bother me that much now. It really didn't.
I do kind of understand that, because I think in a way it is kind of handled a bit weird, but like in hindsight, knowing what the rest of the show is leading to, I do like Harold's character. There's one little moment of like a kind of mistake that I always kind of notice when I watch this, and I guess it's kind of like a benefit of like watching it in HD, I suppose. Like when he has that like little, like the trowel in his hand and he cuts his face, like you can clearly see like the red makeup on it, like that's going to scratch his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird, but it's not like a flaw or anything. It's just like a little interesting observation. No, episode 3 as well I do love, and Quinn was talking about it earlier. Albert's big speech. That's another that's another character changing moment. That's the point where you're like, oh, maybe Albert is actually a good guy. Like where he just lays out his whole fucking philosophy.
It's so unexpected. It's just so unexpected.
Yeah, it comes
like,
out
it just
of
kind of
nowhere.
comes out of the blue. I wish I knew it by heart. I wish I could just recite it, but I can't.
I know quotes from it. My concerns are global.
Yeah.
I reject absolutely
Something about Gandhi and
revenge,
King.
aggression, and retaliation. And the foundation of such a method is love. I love you, Sheriff Truman.
Yeah, but he also mentions like Gandhi and King
Yeah.
or something like that too, like MLK or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I choose to live my life in the company of Gandhi and King.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Man.
moment's beautiful.
Just-
Beautiful stuff.
It is. And it's a moment like that makes me realize like, maybe this is why like Cooper kind of sticks around Albert, or like, doesn't like hate Albert too right off the bat. Cause maybe he knew that side to Albert. That's what I always imagined for some reason.
It also kind of recontextualizes him wanting to press charges against fucking Truman in the first season, where he's completely, it's just like, he punched me, he can't do that.
That's
that
true.
goes against my philosophy.
Can we do it? Can we get to 7, please? Because, God.
Yeah. Holy shit.
One of the greatest
The ending to
episodes of
episode
TV
7?
ever.
Probably. Yeah. We've been spoiling a lot. I just wanted, like, this is a
Yeah.
big spoiler, so, like,
Yes.
That
let
is
it be
true.
known.
Spoilers for Twin Peaks Season 2.
I should probably say first, in terms of like plot lines we don't like, the whole thing with Catherine, what the fuck?
No.
I hate that.
No. This was amazing.
What?
I was in shock.
What?
And
You liked it?
I was in shock. And I loved it. Like, I was like, this is, I mean, everything was shocking me in the moment. So I was like playing along with that as well, kind of like, that is fucking Catherine. Because like, I was kind of bored by that like storyline in general, I guess. Like, I wasn't really feeling that much towards anything going on there.
Yeah.
And then like, I was like, oh, it's fucking Catherine. Holy shit.
Catherine in Yellowface, holy shit. She's in fucking Yellowface the whole season. It's crazy. What the
It is nuts. What the fuck? How do you think of that?
Yeah, I don't dislike it because of the whole like yellow face thing. I mean, I
dislike it
like,
because of that and because it's boring.
I dislike it because I didn't like her character to begin with, and also like, what's the point? Like, I just didn't like that little subplot. The reveal would have been much cooler if that's the problem. I was watching this on Amazon, like through one of the channels I subscribe to, and like on Amazon, if you click on the TV, if you like move the time at all, it shows you like in scene, like all the characters in the scene, and then it showed her as this character, so I got the twist like that ruined for me that way. I'm like, wait a minute, so she's that? Like, it literally, it blew it for me, like it spoiled it.
Well,
Amazon's
that sucks,
little
I guess.
feature. So like,
the reveal scene is very funny, I'll say that much though. It is quite a funny reveal.
It's funny, but it was just like in the moment, I think, with everything going on and the music and all that, like it was cutting back and forth between like different scenes, and it just all felt so eerie. So I was like really, really in it, even though that kind of was goofy, I guess.
The last 20 minutes of this episode, Jesus Christ, it breaks my heart. It fucking, like, every time I watch this episode, I fucking cried. It's just so Twin Peaks. I can't explain it any other way. It is pure Twin Peaks. It is the, like, fucking 20 minutes of Twin Peaks ever, I suppose, is probably the best way I can explain it.
Yeah.
I was crying.
Yes, the big reveal. It was Leland all along who killed Laura Palmer.
Yeah.
That whole scene with Maddie, oh my, it's horrifying. It's horrific. Him looking in the mirror and seeing Bob's reflection, it's so shocking, it's so terrifying, and then everything up to that, like him just beating the shit out of Maddie, it's so disturbing.
No,
and like,
well, not only that, but like I was reading in the trivia, but like Ray Wise for a while like didn't know that he was actually Laura's killer and stuff, so like he learned pretty late.
Because the plan originally for the show was to never reveal Laura's killer. And the network was like, okay, you have to reveal who killed Laura Palmer. And the reason it comes in these 3 episodes is because, like, they just wanted to get it out quick. They wanted to build momentum for the show. That's kind of why I've mentioned that, like, the middle section of season 2 isn't that great. And this is kind of why, because it feels like they hit, like, a wall, like a fucking huge peak with those, like, last 3 episodes, that it never reaches that and it doesn't know what it wants to be. And I guess we'll talk about that in the next episode that we do in Twin Peaks. But so no one knew who Laura Palmer's killer was, and that was by design. And I think it came down to either Ben and Leland. It was only going to be one of those 2.
But just to see like Ray Wise's performance, like out of, you know, not knowing about it for that long, I guess, like to see him give that kind of performance like in these episodes, fuck me.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He didn't want to be the killer as well.
No, he didn't.
Because for one, he had a good time working on the show and he wanted to keep going with it, but also because he recently had a daughter at the time and he couldn't imagine killing his daughter. And I find that heartbreaking, but it is like Ray Wise's like most iconic role. Like, I love seeing Ray Wise pop up in anything, but like fucking this is like his defining role. Just everything about that last part of the fucking 7th episode, like everything in the bar, like fucking Cooper seeing the fucking giant on stage. It's brilliant.
It's happening again.
It's happening again.
It's happening again.
The fucking That Julie Cruz song is so fucking beautiful and so haunting, and it fits perfectly with that scene.
The way that like there is slow, like that scene when like you see Bob kind of chasing her around like the living room, and then he like grabs her, like the way that it goes into it's in slow motion, and the screaming is in slow motion and the voices are deeper, makes it so disturbing. Like that to me was the most disturbing part for some reason. Like it's just the way it it's like you just linger on it.
The emotions
and, like,
are so
it's
heightened.
just fucked.
The emotions are so heightened, but like the the hits that he does are so blunt.
Have we mentioned the white horse even? Like that was a image that just kind of scared me like in the moment kind of, but
yeah.
I mean, it all has like meaning. It's just
it does.
That entire sequence is just so fucking scary, and I was like in tears for the whole like ending. It's unbelievably beautiful.
It is.
I like after Maddie gets killed, that the whole fucking ending, like with Bobby looking around confused, fucking Donna breaking down into tears, and then the fucking old guy comes over to Cooper and he's like, "I'm so sorry." It breaks me. It's so effective, and it gets to the heart of Twin Peaks. It's, you know, in essence, Twin Peaks can be compared to Star Wars in a way, because it's just about good versus evil. That is the essence of Twin Peaks, but there's obviously much more to it. And obviously Leland's the bad, Bob is the root of all evil, and I kind of see Laura as an image of purity that was kind of corrupted by the world around her and the situations that like unfolded around her. And just seeing all the characters react to like this disturbance in the air, it's just beautiful. One of the best moments in anything ever. I adore it. I fucking adore it.
Yeah. No, that's literally the moment like that. I mean, I think that's what I wrote on Serialized after I watched that episode. Like, that was a moment I really realized how amazing Twin Peaks was. Like, I finally got it. Like, I was enjoying it all up until that point, but it was that end of that episode. I'm like, yep, this is fucking amazing. Like, this show is truly amazing.
Especially just 7 and 9 for me. Like, I was just like, I think this is probably going to enter my top 10 shows of all time. Like, I can't see it not after what it's done. Like, it's just brilliant.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that they went with the decision to make Leland the killer, not Ben, because the idea of the dad killing his own daughter is just 10 times more disturbing than anything else you could imagine, really. So like that was like, to me, like the only decision.
And I feel like
that
I knew all along
made.
as well that it wasn't Ben. He's kind of stupid, but and he's evil in a lot of ways, but he's like not that evil.
The twist to where, I mean, the part to where like they reveal like Ben was like, because Audrey was talking like, did you sleep with her and like all this stuff. The part where Ben was like, I loved her, like I was like, what? Like, oh my god, like the things that keep getting revealed about all these characters and like how they felt about Laura is crazy.
To be fair to old Ben there, everyone loved Laura. There's like not a character who has like a single bad thing to say about Laura, and that's why I said I see her as like the image of purity, the image of like goodness.
What about episode 9? We should talk about that a bit.
Absolutely brilliant way to fucking handle it. It's oh my god,
it's probably on the same level as the 7th episode for me, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I just like that in those 2 episodes, like Leland is just fully fucking unhinged.
He's scary.
Yes, it is very scary. Like when
the moment of him in the padded or that fucking cell, him in the cell towards the end. I know this is like a overused thing. Like anytime you see an actor just being crazy as fuck, like I kept thinking like I wanted to see Ray Wise as a Joker. Like he could play the fucking Joker. Like literally, just no, really. Like that phase at the end.
Don't bring comic book fucking bullshit into my Twin Peaks, Quinn.
No,
I draw
but
the
don't
line
you
there.
think?
He's just a creepy enough character as it is, I feel like. It's just...
I mean, yeah. I'm not saying, like, he should. I'm just saying, like, that was basically what he was playing, and it, like, but it worked.
But the entire build-up to that, it's so fucking brilliant. Like, just, like, the scene in the bar where, like, everyone's there. Everyone's fucking there. Yeah, the giant is going to tell him who did it. And, you know, the fucking old man hints at it by having the gum, and then Leland's like, oh yeah, I used to chew that gum when I was a kid. It's so brilliantly done, and that fucking shot of Dale just leaving the bar, and just that thumbs up, that is his best thumbs up. That is his best thumbs up. Just the lighting is perfect, the situation is perfect.
Just like Leland going along with them as well and everything, and like it all being kind of just casual, and then they like finally push him in, and he's just like
the shift in his character is disturbing.
It is so disturbing. Like you just see it instantly, and like everyone's watching, they're just like, oh my god, yeah, I guess this is the real Leland.
How did you know it was him? I saw it in a dream. Well, we're gonna need more evidence than that. How about a confession? The final scene with Leland is so perfect as well. Like,
Heartbreaking.
Yeah,
it does not redeem Leland in the slightest, but it is heartbreaking. It kind of like, I do see Leland as a character as two sides. I see him as Leland and I see him as Bob. I don't think Bob is fully like a paranormal entity. I think it's just the bad side of Leland, and that's what he manifested whenever he did those horrible things to Laura. Like, he fucking, he killed her, he raped her. It's disturbing to think about, but it adds so much meat to the show that wouldn't have any otherwise if it was like fucking Ben who killed her. And like Cooper just like holding him in his hands, just saying, "Go into the light, Leland, go into the light."
God damn it.
Geez.
What have you done to me?
You're welcome.
Literally. No, yeah, you got us fucking obsessed. That's what you did.
Good.
You got us obsessed with Twin Peaks.
Welcome to my world. Now you know.
I am not the same.
I think I prefer season 2 to season 1. No, this stretch in particular, I prefer this to season 1.
It's episodes 1 to 9, and like season 1's 8 episodes anyway, so I feel like that's fair.
And I never thought it's it, because like I said, I stopped. I couldn't get through season 2 my first time, but now I actually agree. Like, even despite the Meals on Wheels subplot and the Catherine Martell being disguised thing, I didn't really care for. Like, the weird subplots of the season, I can overlook those because like the high moments of this season are so high that like I just can't not love it more than the first season. I still love the first season, but like, man. Like, it's so different.
And within those 9 episodes, they start to sow the seeds for what's going to come later. And you guys would not have noticed them, but they have been kind of laying the groundwork for like the next couple episodes. And I'm not a huge fan of those, but like, we'll see when we get to them.
Well, apparently cream corn was the fucking seed planted, one of them. Like, so you're right. I never noticed that.
No, that's just symbolism. Metaphors and stuff. They don't fucking go to like a cream corn factory or whatever and they're like, this is the clue.
It's not a literal.
This is the clue to this new mystery.
I wonder what it symbolizes.
Do we have much else to say about Twin Peaks?
Well, just that final shot of this last episode of the owl flying towards the screen, I fucking got like goosebumps. I'm like, holy fuck. Oh my gosh. I don't know what I felt, but just that owl, the last shot of the owl, it couldn't have ended better. Like this final stretch.
It's incredible.
So
I completely agree. If that's all we have to say, I guess that's our discussion for the first season and a half of Twin Peaks. Ratings so far, I guess, if we want to do that. Or else if you just want to rate like... Okay.
Sorry, I was eager to fucking say it.
Well, we can just rate it as a whole so far, and we'll kind of do it differently in the next episode, I suppose.
Well, I feel like we'll be all the same. Yeah, 10 for me.
I've rated some episodes like lower than that, definitely, but I mean, I'm just preemptively, gonna give it a 10. I know I'll come back to it and I'll love everything about it. I feel like it's just, everything is great here. This is totally my shit. Thank you, Keelan. My eyes have been opened. Yeah,
obviously, this is like one of my favorite fucking things ever. I will say, don't get your hopes up for the next few episodes. It gets quite rough. Just bear with it. Bear with it.
I noticed that the average rating on Serialized, the average rating just drops by like a full point for the next few. So I'm like, oh shit.
It comes back. It does get back to like the quality of the last 3 episodes, but the following 6 or 7 episodes, I can't see either of you liking them too much, so just go with it. Like, it's not the worst thing ever. I'd still say it's good, but it's not to the quality of what we've watched so far. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that is Twin Peaks. I'm very fucking happy that you guys enjoyed it, and I can't wait when we do the next episode. Yay.
All right, so getting into listener questions. All right, we got a couple questions from All Right So Reviews. First one, well, it's not really a question, a statement. He said Kyle and Lynch, like Kyle MacLachlan and Lynch, over anyone and Scorsese.
I agree.
Yeah,
sure.
Fuck Robert De Niro.
Ooh.
Fuck Joe Pesci. Fuck Al Pacino. Get the fuck out of here.
He also asked, why is Twin Peaks the most accessible of Lynch work? I don't know if it is.
The Straight Story, Blue Velvet.
Even the fucking Elephant Man. Even the Elephant Man. To me, the Elephant Man is the most accessible. Yeah. But yeah.
Like any of his others, like, Eraserhead. Fucking Dune. Sorry, Dune's accessible. Yeah, but like, the stuff like Mulholland Drive, Lost Highway, stuff like that is quite inaccessible and kind of hard to get your head around.
Inland Empire, holy shit.
Inland Empire is still like the only Lynch film I haven't seen. I only haven't seen it because it's like 3 hours long. I'm looking forward to it whenever I work the courage up to watch it, but
I don't know, to me, I've only watched the first 30 minutes of it, and to me, I was like, I am not ready. Like, I am not in the mood for this right now, because I know it's going to be too weird. Like, I want to watch it, but it is very Lynch. Like, just from the 30 minutes I watched, I'm like, what the fuck?
But Twin Peaks, I think it's a good middle ground. Like, it's not as accessible as Straight Story, but it's more accessible than Mulholland Drive.
And then the last question from Film Forager. Ask this in a Brooklyn accent. I don't know why I have to do it in a Brooklyn accent. Yeah, I got a question for you. What took you so long, Quinn? What took me so long? I'm guessing she means like what took me so long to watch Twin Peaks. But no, I watched it. I don't know what else she'd be asking that about. Before we head out, though, I have to recommend the next topic. You mentioned it. I think Keelan or somebody mentioned it early on in this recording. Because I don't know if any of us have seen it yet, but it's a new movie that came out, part of a franchise that we like. But Alien Romulus has now come out. Not only would I like us to see Alien Romulus and discuss it, but I figured why not just talk about, because I think we did this in the past. We haven't done many franchise episodes, and there's not too many of these movies. But not the Alien vs. Predator movies. Fuck those two. We're not doing Alien vs. Predator.
I've already watched the first three again recently. Why not?
No, I was about to say, I knew. Yeah. No, I was literally about to say, like, I know, like, you guys already started rewatching some of them. I don't think that would be like a long discussion or anything. It's only like 7 movies now, like including Alien Romulus. That'd be like 7 things to talk about, but like, and we've seen them all basically.
We should list out all the films then.
Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, Prometheus, Alien Covenant, and Alien Romulus.
You can rewatch whatever you want. I mean, we've all basically seen them. You don't even have to rewatch them. I'm guessing you might want to refresh, but like mainly leading up to just, yes, Alien Romulus. And yeah, and I want us to, at the end of it, we can, I thought we could even rank, our Alien movies, kind of like if it was a director episode, just rank the movies.
I've been wondering when we'd do one of these.
No, fuck it. Let's do AVP and record.
Nope.
Are you serious? No, I'm
joking.
I knew that one
joking.
of you might.
I'm joking.
But yeah, those 7. So it's 7 movies, including this newest one that came out. So
I'd also like to suggest this for Alien 3. Watch the assembly cut. 2 hours 20 something minutes long. It's like a full half an hour longer than the theatrical cut. But I think it's better, and I think it's more worth talking about. But we can touch on the theatrical, I suppose, as well.
That's about it. You can find me at Views by Quinn on Instagram, Letterboxd, whatever. Just check out the link tree.
You can find me at Liam and Hyde on most things. Letterboxd and Serialized and Music Board. Find me there.
You can find me in the Black Lodge with my good friend, Special Agent Dale Cooper. And in the link tree in the bio.
And that's about it. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. And I'll do it in a Lynch voice. Peace out, bitches! Yeah.